I'm Jonathan Yousling, and I am a trial lawyer and shareholder at GLP Attorneys. And I've been representing the injured for more than a decade. Paul was a son, he was a father, he was a veteran, and he was loved. Paul also had personal issues that he dealt with. From his service, he developed PTSD, and unfortunately, he used alcohol to cope for that. And he was still dealing with that challenge at the time of his injuries. I say this because oftentimes defense counsel or insurance companies give victims the idea that you have to be perfect to deserve justice. You have to come from a cookie cutter background. You have to take care of yourself. You have to have a mortgage and a lease and a family and people who care about you, and you can't smoke and you can't have struggles. In reality, that's not true. In reality, all of us are broken and come from broken pasts or issues or challenges that we deal with. And we all deserve justice. By the time I personally met Paul, he was in a wheelchair, and he needed someone to feed him. He needed someone to wheel him out. He needed someone to roll him over. He needed to someone to make sure that he swallowed. And I read thousands of records and couldn't believe that this person that I had met, that this collision was simply just a coincidence. Well, first and foremost, they were arguing that Paul was intoxicated at the time of the injuries and that he darted out in front of the car. And they hired many experts to say that Paul was suffering from alcoholic dementia, and that was essentially why he was having difficulties communicating with people and how he declined over the next 4 years. And frontal lobe sharing in his brain and the bleeding that he suffered and the collision were merely a coincidence in something that was already in play. Well, we fought with the insurance companies and took it from an offer of $0, blaming Paul for his injuries and his cognitive state, to getting them to tender all available insurance monies up to $6 million, which was more than a number just for us, Sarah and I, because it meant that Paul, who had been living in a mental institution with round-the-clock care, could be transferred to a place where he could live more comfortably. And he could live and pay for his own bills as opposed to relying on the community when the person responsible for his injuries was the company that negligently hit him in the middle of a crosswalk. You know, at GLP, one of our core values is collaboration. And if you'd been with us from the whole part, all the many people, Sarah, paralegals, legal assistants, accounting, a team, a community here, rallied together to help another person against an insurance company, which oftentimes this whole drive is to devalue people. And together we showed that we as a community and people are worth a lot. And that's what drives me, is that we're fighting for making sure that people are valued as they should be. Personally, for me, we were able to keep our promise. I know that Paul, when I spoke to him, couldn't hear me, but I did tell him that we were going to do our best, and I can honestly say we did our absolute best for our client.